Welcome to the second annual Stanford University-Peking University Conference on Internet Law and Public Policy. It's both a pleasure and a privilege to offer you all a formal welcome on behalf of Stanford Law School. And it's especially gratifying to see so many of you in attendance here today. Thank you so much for coming. Following the success of the first conference that we held last year in Beijing, we're very delighted to welcome our distinguished guests and attendees to the school. As you know, the subject of Internet law and public policy covers a very expansive area of questions. But I think you're in the right place to discuss and learn over the next couple of days. We all look forward to hearing both from Chinese and American experts on the most pressing issues. For example, how do US and Chinese approaches to internet antitrust issues differ? Are recent developments in privacy law able to strike a balance between allowing companies access to user data and protecting users' privacy? Today, as you know, intermediary liability issues and the principles are at the core of every nation's innovation policy. As we think about these rules going forward, I know we will discuss this. The risk is that we will spend a lot of time worrying about the tensions between copyright industries and the internet today. Obviously very important, but we also need to think about those issues for the future internet, which we will obviously creatively change over time. Virtual items present very interesting questions, novel problems for online providers, users, and lawmakers, but not because they require new legal theories. Rather, as with other technology-related goods, the challenge is how to sort through the existing rules to determine what fits this new concept best. Finally, another example of what we'll discuss, what is the role of patents in the US and Chinese legal systems, and what are the challenges facing each? How do these systems encourage software and high-tech innovation? These are just some of the questions we'll be discussing over the next couple of days. Let me say that this program would not be possible without the support of our partner, Peking University, as well as the event sponsors for this event, Tencent and Microsoft. Thank you all for furthering the discussion of these issues. I also want to offer a special thank you to Brent Irvin, the General Counsel of Tencent. I'm proud to say that he is a Stanford Law School graduate, and he's very much been the driving force behind this event. So Brent, thank you for your vision and for bringing us all together. I hope you enjoy the program, and I'm very happy to welcome you. I'm delighted now to introduce Dean ZHANG Shouwen, the Dean of Peking University Law School.
尊敬的各位来宾、各位专家学者，大家下午好。今天呢，我们互联网法律公共政策的研讨会在美丽的斯坦福大学的校园隆重地举行了。去年这样的一个会是在北大法学院召开的，那么今年呢，我们1年1度，今年呢是在斯坦福大学法学院来召开。首先，请允许我对精心筹备和组织这次会议的斯坦福大学法学院以院长为首，包括各位梅亚等等各位，表示衷心的感谢。对于这次会议的一些协办单位包括我们的腾讯微软等等这样的一些单位他们所做出的这个努力表示感谢。应该说，这样的一个会议非常重要。今天呢，我们看到参加这个会议的人数是非常的多的，来自社会各界的一些人士精英人士都来参加这个会。我觉得呢，这个为这次会议增添了很多的光彩，同时也说明这个领域是大家都非常关注的。那么有很多的方面可以体现这一点。首先，我想呢，今天参加这个会议的主体就体现出我们这个会议的一个重要特点。 我们今天这个会议可以说是官产学研各个方面的人士都有，来自政府部门，来自立法机关，来自中国的最高法院一些重要的代表人物参加我们的会议，来自中美两国，甚至还有加拿大的这样一些著名的学者来参加这次会议，来自企业界的比方说腾讯这个微软还有 Google 还有其他的一些著名的企业的一些重要的人士也来参加这个会议，包括一些著名的研究机构的一些人士都来参加这个会议。所以呢，说明我们这个会议的受关注的程度是非常高的，而且呢，都是在这个领域里着有研究的这样一些专家和学者。所以呢，我想呢，这个参加会的主体这个层次高是一个非常大的特点。第二个方面，就研究领域而言，我觉得这次会议选取的主题也非常好，涉及到在互联网领域的反垄断的问题，涉及到隐私权的保护的问题，涉及到专利、商标权、专利权、版权的保护的问题，那么还涉及到相关的救济制度等等诸多的这些领域。我觉得这些主题选择的都非常好。应该说，互联网的发展确实给我们人类的生活带来了非常大的变化，它已经成为我们一种重要的生存方式，对各个国家的政治、经济、法律、社会的发展都产生了非常大的一些影响。所以呢，基于这样的一个情况，选择这样一些主题，我觉得是非常好的。刚才会议之前，我也跟一些代表进行交流和沟通，他们都觉得这样一些主题选得很有意义。而这样一些主题的选择，注定了我们的这个研讨是非常的具有前沿性的，非常的具有前瞻性的。再加上刚才我们讲到的参与者的这种高层次性，使得我们这个会议开的就非常的有意义。时间的关系，我想呢，把很多的时间要留给我们的著名的专家和学者。我在这里就预祝我们这次论坛圆满成功。谢谢大家 ，Thank you。
Hi, I'm Brent Urban. I'm the GC of Tencent. Also, as Liz mentioned, an alum of Stanford Law School. It's following the deans of Stanford Law School and Peking University. It's kind of a tough act to follow, but I'll do my best, and I'll be very brief so we can get into the panels. Thinking about what to say, I decided to talk about, when people hear that I'm the GC of Tencent, they often, their first reaction is, well, why on earth would a Chinese company hire an American to be their GC? And of course, there's a lot of reasons, some of which aren't relevant to the conference here, but I think there are some reasons that I think, not only answer the question, but also speak to, why we're having this conference. And I think, one reason is, and, we're all adults here and we read the papers, we know that, this area of high tech and the internet, there are frictions or disagreements between the US and China, and everybody knows about that. We're not really here to talk about that, but what I see when I'm on the ground with Tencent at the enterprise level is there is a huge amount of interaction and cooperation among American and Chinese internet companies and media companies, and I don't think that's going to go away. If you look at the China side of it, I mean, we listed in Hong Kong, but you have a huge amount of internet companies in China that have listed in the U.S., including some of the major ones like Baidu, who we're honored to have some of their representatives here today. So that's quite significant. You look at the China market, I think it's the #2 market in the world for Apple. Android is the #1 mobile operating system in China. I don't have statistics, but I'm sure that for Microsoft, China is one of their very, very key markets. And so you see the interactions at that level. Coming back to the U.S., I know the Tencent situation the best when you look at sort of commercial and strategic relationships over the last few years. One, we have an office just down the street off University Avenue. Over the last few years, we've done dozens of investments here in the U.S. from the big, including Riot Games in L.A., and we're very happy to have their legal team here today. And then very small, Y Combinator. We're very deeply involved in the Silicon Valley ecosystem, and it's important to our business. At the strategic level, we're working with we work with Disney and animation studios. We're working with Activision on online gaming. We're working with Warner Brothers to bring online movies to China. So, you can get focused on those headlines, but then when you really get to the businesses, there's huge amount of interaction. And so in that sense, it's very logical to have, it doesn't, an American as your GC, because a lot of our work involves dealing with companies here in the US. I think the second thing, and then I'll just finish up with this, is how would you say it? I guess, as a GC, you don't actually do any legal work, is what I tell people, right? So, I manage things, and my job is to issue spot and to, organize resources and get the teams to be doing the right things, to set the strategy for Tencent Legal. And while, of course, there are big differences in terms of the law between China and the US, although I think a lot of it, as mentioned many, many times if people have heard me talk, I think is civil law versus common law. But, the law is different, but the issues, whether they be antitrust, patent litigation, intermediary liability, they're exactly the same as what a GC of Google or any other, Microsoft or any other internet company here would be thinking about. So, the issues are exactly the same. And so what I'm hoping is that through this platform, we're bringing together, the best scholars from Stanford and Peking University and other great universities. We've got judges from both sides. We've got government officials. We've got representatives from, Microsoft and Google and Baidu and Alibaba. We're hoping to create a platform where it's not just mutual understanding, because people talk, I want it to be mutual learning, because I think both sides can learn from each other. And so hopefully, the goal of these conferences as they continue to go forward is that, people can come together and learn from each other. And with that, I'll end, and hopefully let's get to the panels and have great conversation.
We are not quite finished with you, Brent. In recognition of all you've done to make this happen, I hope you will receive this gift on behalf of Stanford Law School. It is more than a bag. And Dean Zhang Shouwen, may I present you with a gift as well to thank you for your partnership in this conference.
Thank you. Thank you. 这个呢是北大发现 this present.
Oh, beautiful.
Our logo. Yeah.
Do you want to open?
Yeah, open.
It's tightly wrapped.
Open.
Does anyone have a scissors? Ah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Thank you. We have been very fortunate to have the support of United States Congresswoman Anna Eshoo for this conference. Congresswoman Eshoo serves California's 18th district. She has been representing the people of Silicon Valley in Washington, D.C. for the last 2 decades. Congresswoman Eshoo was not able to join us, but she was generous in writing a letter to be read as a kickoff to the event, and I have the honor of reading that letter. This is addressed to Dean Magill and the conference participants. A welcome to you and the attendees who have gathered on the campus of Stanford University for the Stanford University Peking University two-day conference on Internet law and public policy. Please accept my sincerest apologies for not being able to join you in person. Stanford Law School, in the heart of the 18th Congressional District, has always provided a vibrant forum for debating the latest developments in technology, law, and policy. This conference builds on that long tradition by bringing together the legal communities in the United States and in China for an in-depth examination of antitrust policy, privacy, copyright, patent litigation, and other issues that are vital to the Internet's continued growth. Unlike Silicon Valley, Congress moves at a snail's pace. But as demonstrated by the recent legislative battles involving the Stop Online Piracy Act, SOPA, and the Cyber Intelligence Sharing and Protection Act, CISPA, members of Congress are increasingly asking questions about how legislation will impact the free and open internet, privacy, and job creation. As ranking member of the House Subcommittee on Communications and Technology and the House co-chair of the Congressional Internet Caucus, I'm particularly attuned to these issues, and I have focused my legislative work on supporting the growth of mobile broadband and the innovative applications and services that depend on the free and open internet. In 2012, global mobile data traffic grew by 70%. And with traffic estimated to grow an additional 13 times by 2017, we must make freeing up more spectrum for mobile broadband a top priority. My thanks to both Stanford Law School and to Peking University for hosting such an important discussion, as well as to Tencent and Microsoft for their sponsorship. I'm pleased to see this partnership between the two schools, and I look forward to working with you to advance policies that promote innovation, competition, and a vibrant technology sector. Most gratefully, Anna Eshoo, Member of Congress.